Let us get to that board. And there we go, Magnus with the black pieces. And they're going back into that line. It looks
6 by Magnus. Hans gonna build the center here. C3, the Giuoco piano. They know the theory here. D6 played, and this is very tense. This is the 4th game of the match. They're tied 1.5 to 1.5. So decisive game here. We can see the crowd there, and I was in the playing hall when this happened. Exciting stuff. And now we can see Rook E8 played, Knight F1, and the bishop retreats to A7. Knight G3 is logical. I don't know what Hans is thinking here. Where else can he play? Knight G3 after Knight F1 makes a lot of sense. And here we go, Knight G3. Oh, right away, Bishop E6. We take on E6, and Magnus recapture with the Rook. F-take E6 was also possible. Okay, we have a move on the board, D4. Interesting. So now, Magnus is probably out of the book on move 13. What is the threat? The threat is D5. So, what can you do here? You can either take on D4 or move back the Rook, right? So we have a center, C3, D3, E4. Oh, and we can see the move. Rook E8 is played, right? So now Hans move very quickly, Bishop E3, take with the bishop. We can see the time, 2:37 versus 2:20, and we can see Magnus definitely behind on the clock. He's thinking here, right? That bishop on D4 is so well positioned, right? Hikaru may love that bishop here. Should he take that bishop or should we move the knight, right? So what to do here? Maybe knight e5 is the move, and then you can just take like that and exchange a lot of pieces. But in that variation, maybe knight a5 is what he's thinking. So we go back in this position. We can see Magnus here, not so happy about what to do next, right? I think he's going to take the bishop, but he can take it with bishop a7, or he can take it with a knight, right? Because that bishop is too strong. All right, he made a move, and here very quickly, c takes d4 on the board, and then c6. But wait a minute, maybe we could have taken with a knight. We'll see that at the end. Queen b3, rook b8 on the board, rook a d1. Hans is putting pressure on Magnus, right? He only spent 30 seconds and Magnus is down to 1 minute and 13 seconds here. All the white pieces are well positioned. Oh, we have a move, rook e6 to defend d6. That's kind of passive. What to do next? Queen c2 on the board. A lot of maneuvering in this game, right? Is it preparing e5 probably? Maybe knight f5 comes to mind. White has a better chances. We can see Magnus struggling here. And the clock is down to 46 seconds. He doesn't like his position. g6 on the board to prevent knight f5. Queen c1 attacks h6 here. So, lot of maneuvering. King g7 on the board. Oh my goodness, Hans is on fire here. Queen f4. The queen is coming to the king side. Magnus is so nervous here. 30 seconds versus 2 minutes and 17 seconds. But remember, Magnus has 2 second increments here. So he has 2 second increments per move. Queen e7 is trying to defend. Knight h4 with a threat. Knight f5 check and check. But look, of course, right away, king h7 to avoid the fork on f5. Okay, the knight retreats on f3. Rook e8. Right now, e5. I don't think that's the right move here. e5. Oh, knight e5 attacks the queen. I think Hans rushed here. He didn't have to play e5. He could just play h4, a waiting move. Now the knight on d5, we can see Magnus is breathing. He's not out of the woods, but bishop b8 is an idea now. He can just go here and put pressure on the e-pawn if he exchanges there. Queen g4, he takes. Rook takes. Alright, but there's bishop b8 here. Magnus doesn't have to take on e5. 14 seconds for Magnus. Oh my goodness. Hans is playing the clock. Bishop b8 on the board, attacking the rook e5. Well, Hans can retreat or he can simply exchange the rooks. That's gonna help black though. Yeah, he's exchanging the rooks. Does he want to exchange the queens? I don't think so. Because he exchanged the queens, we have an isolated pawn on d4. So, oh my god, 14 seconds left. And now, Hans is taking his time. Queen h4 on the board. Right away, queen e7. Where does the queen go? They can go back to g4 and it's perpetual and repeat. Oh, they go into the endgame. Rook, king g7, g3 played. Rook e2, but now we have black having initiative here. I think Magnus survived and he's the king of endgame. He's putting pressure on the d4 pawn. Or the game turned around after the exchanges of queen. Rook e7. The blitzing move here, a3 on the board, knight c7. I think Magnus is in a comfort zone here. Rook d7 is now spinning up. Look at Hans. Knight e3. Knight c2. f5. Black is pressing because of the d4 pawn. King e2, king f6. I like black here and look. We're now going much faster. King d3. What is that move? What is the king doing here? c5 with a pin here. What is Hans doing? Black is threatening to take on d4. King d3 was a mistake. And look at the time he's evening out. So Magnus was spending all this time and Hans was trying to put pressure on the clock. But now we have something to solve for white. I think the king has to move, right? To the e file or c file. No. King c3. Magnus takes. 94, 9g5. Oh my goodness. Threatening 94 check and f2 and knight h3. Two threats at once. What to do here? Hans is losing a pawn. Oh my god, the time is even and Magnus now in the endgame is definitely in the driver's seat. And Hans is below the clock now. What a turnaround here. We can see Dina Belankaya watching the scene. As a spectator, Rook f1, check, King d3, and now Magnus is thinking, check, King e2, Knight a4, attacks b2, Magnus is going after the b pawn, alright, Knight f3, check, and now he takes on b2, Knight b4, the blitzing move here, this is really a blitz game. To its finest. King c3, knight a4, king c2, nervous player, knight c5. 4 seconds left on the clock, knight d2 play. Knight e6. Knight b3, they're shuffling the knights around. But black has an extra pawn now. g5. f3. Bishop b8 again, attacking g3, g4, knight a4. What about the pawn on h3? Oh, bishop e5, centraling king b1. They're rushing move here. This is so exciting. 7 seconds for Magnus, rook c7. Rook d1, rook c3. Oh, he's taking on f3. Knight c5. It's so hard to follow now. But the h3 pawn's gonna fall as well. Yes, he's taking it. Check. Knight c5, king f7, taking on f5, king f6. I think Hans is in big trouble here. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, rook d7. Rook h2, king b1, bishop f6. Moves are flying. Knight e4. Hans has virtually no time. Now they gain some time because of the 2-second increment. Check. Bishop c3. Oh my goodness. Attacking the bishop, bishop retreats to f6. 2 pawns versus 1 is going to be a pawn race, ladies and gentlemen. a4, rook a2, a5, h5. So Hans is counting on the a pawn, and Magnus has 2 pawns on the king side. Knight b4, rook a4. The knight is attacked. 1 second on the clock, rook c4 played. Check. Rook c6. Taking, taking. And now we have a rook endgame. 2 versus 1, but rook a4 behind the pawn. King b3. I think that Hans is busted here. The black pawns are faster. He's going to resign now. King b2 and king b3, h3, king b4. Oh my goodness, h2. And that's it. Magnus wins. Oh my goodness. He's going to promote first. And 2 pawn versus 1 wins. What a dramatic endgame. Wesley So is watching. I am in the crowd. What a game, what a game, what a fight. Wesley So walking, and Hans is out of the tournament, and Magnus goes on to the next round. Oh my goodness. The Hans Niemann Magnus Carlsen show never disappoints. And Magnus was under pressure but delivered at the end in the end game. Classic Magnus. We can see Magnus walking here with the arbiter on your screen. I don't know what they're doing. Maybe you have to do a post-game check of some sort. And this is it. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the action from Cipriani, 55 Wall Street, New York City. I see you in the next one.